Good morning, gentlemen. Wonderful weather. I'm going to talk to you about something very important as far as India is concerned because it involves the Indian Army and the Indian state. I will tell you about the recruitment of the Gurkhas in the Wagner group, a Russian paramilitary mercenary force which is known for its toughness and daredevilry. First of all, let me tell you about the Wagner group. It was formed in 2014 under the aegis of the Russian government and has about 6,000 soldiers. It's a mercenary force and they will go anywhere in any country to fight. They're not really bothered where they go, what they do, so long as they're paid money. And at the moment, they are operating in Libya, they're operating in South Africa, and to top it, they are operating in Ukraine. In Ukraine, in the Battle of Bakhmut, you're aware that these fighters were in the forefront and they led the assault on the city. There's been some problem between the Russian government and the Wagner Group now, which I will discuss a little later. But the moment I must tell you that the Wagner Group is recruiting Gurkha soldiers. Now, the Gurkhas, as you know, are wonderful fighters. They've been with the Indian Army for over 200 years. In fact, the first time they came in contact with the British was in 1816 when, in the first Gurkha Anglo War, they even captured a British general. And the British were very much impressed with the fighting abilities of the Gurkhas, and for the next 200 years, they had been the linchpin of the British Indian Army. Even after independence, there was a tripart agreement signed between Nepal, India, and the United Kingdom, and the British continued to recruit Gurkha soldiers for their army. And as is well known, the Gurkhas were used in the first assault in the Battle of the Falklands against Argentina. Gentlemen, now these men are without a job because the Indian government has enforced what is called the Agnipat scheme, which means that out of four people recruited, three will be sent home and only one will be retained. The idea, of course, is not the efficacy of the army, but basically to cut down on the pension bill. This is really not the way to function or to organize an armed force. But then it's been done, it's done. And Nepal at the moment has put a hold on further recruitment for the Agnipath scheme, and no Gurkhas are being recruited in the Indian army at the moment. Because the Nepalis have a point. They say that if the Gurkhas serve for 3 years and come back, what the hell are going to do in Nepal? Nepal's a very poor country. There's no jobs available, nothing. There's hunger stalks the land. It's got one of the lowest GDPs in the world, and yet there's nothing you can do about it. So these gentlemen, Gurkhas, are looking for a job, and now some of them have been recruited by the Wagner Group, this mercenary force, and the pay is good. I understand they're going to get $2,500 a month, which is a lot of money, and the Gurkhas have a new vista, a new horizon coming in. I think day before yesterday, Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, has signed a decree in which he has said that those people who serve with the Russian armed forces, like the Russian army or the Wagner force, they will be given permanent residence in Russia and made citizens. Now, just remember that India has an agreement with Nepal that once the soldiers retire from the Indian army, they will go back to Nepal. They're not settled in India. And the same clause is there with the British Army. Those who serve with the British Army, once they finish their tenure, they have to go back to Nepal. But here's the change. Vladimir Putin has dangled the carrot before them and said you can settle down in Russia. And Russia is a developed country. I mean, you can compare it with Nepal, which is nothing. So these Gurkhas will be very happy to settle down there. And there's another plus point. The Russians have got an imbalance as far as the sexual ratio is concerned between women and men. In the Second World War, as you all know, 20 million Russian men died. With the result, the number of men in Russia are very much fewer than the women. And many women in Russia are unable to find a man to get married to. So perhaps it's my way of thinking that the Gurkhas could fill the bill there also, and they would be pretty happy to go there. Gentlemen, this is a very important development because the Indian government must think about it. Tomorrow, the Chinese may also start recruiting the Gurkhas, and that will be at the cost of India. I think it's a very short sighted policy which the Indians had of getting the Agnipath scheme here and then applying it to the Gurkhas also, and the net result is the Gurkhas are not coming. As far as India is concerned, there's underemployment, there's no employment, so people are hungry, and whatever you advertise, they'll come there. But then, what is their loyalty? I don't think they're going to be that loyal. A man who knows that he's going to serve only 4 years and then go away with a little sum of money, why should he risk his life? In the last year, for example, he liked to finish his tenure and go away. He wouldn't like to get killed. So, gentlemen, the efficacy of the army is reduced with the Agnipath scheme, and a lot of generals, retired generals, and senior officers have voiced their opinion about it. But I don't think the government and the Modi is listening. The brainchild of this scheme was General Rawat. Sadly, he's no more, but he done a lot of damage to the fabric of the Indian fighting force. Well, gentlemen, this basically I was just going to explain to you about the Wagner force. The Wagner force, as I told you, is in some trouble now with the Russian government, and though they are Putin's creation, Putin has told them that we'll crack down on them because they were very unhappy with the way the Russian army was treating them, including the Russian defense minister. And they were marching to Moscow till Putin spoke to the chief, and the whole thing has been shelved now. And of course, where is the chief of the Wagner group? He has gone to Belarus. He's sitting there and relaxing. And the Americans are pretty worried why he should be there. And that's the reason the NATO Secretary General has just gone to Belarus to see what this man is doing there. Well, gentlemen, the Wagner Group is something akin to the Blackwater security which operates in America. You will remember that when Benazir Bhutto was under threat of death, she wanted the Blackwater security to guard her, but General Musharraf forbade it. He didn't accept her contention, and so she had to pay with her life. I don't know how successful the Gurkhas will be with the Wagner Group, but I'm getting reports that they're pretty happy because they're being looked after well, and in addition, they have access to the latest weapons. Well, gentlemen, I close now and say goodbye to you all. Please subscribe to my channel if you get time. Share it with your friends. Come back for more. And I'll say once more, Jai Hind, glory to India. Goodbye and God bless.